What is a church? Is it a building? Does it have chairs? Is it made of steel or wood? Does it become a church if it has pews, a piano, or stained glass? Or is there something more to it? In 2008, our church was born in a barn, just like Jesus. It wasn't made up of the famous, the rich, or powerful. It was made up of everyday people who passionately believed in the message of Jesus. It was the beginning of a revolution of love and freedom that would change people's lives forever. In 369 AD, the church built its first hospital as a place to care for those who could not care for themselves. Today, churches are the largest single provider of health care in history. The church was first to stand up for the rights of children and created the first and largest orphanage system in the world today. 100 out of the first 110 universities in America were founded as Christian institutions, places like Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. Much of the world's greatest art, architecture, literature, and music all have been shaped by the church. But the impact of the church isn't just ancient history. Today, the church is stronger than ever and continues to impact every corner of the world. There are over 300,000 churches in the U.S. alone and 5 million churches around the world that stand ready to be instruments of change to do what governments could never do. Every day, the church brings food and fresh water to millions of people across the world and has a renowned passion to help single parents and orphans and fight to free slaves in every part of the world. It stands ready as the first responder on the scene to provide relief of victims of disaster. The ripple effect of Jesus' impact can be clearly seen and felt in the church today, and it's made of people who volunteer every Sunday to care for infants in the nursery week in and week out, who are called to lead couples and bring them together and figure out all what a marriage really can be. People who are always ready to drive a minivan full of teenagers to their next youth event. A group of key leaders to make visionary decisions about the direction of the church and are just fine serving out of the spotlight. And then there's a group that runs sound and makes sure the right words are on the screen at the right time. And then there's you, a group of people filling the seats that may or may not have their act all together. Side note, no one has their act all together. Add to that the man who arrived early today to pray with anticipation over every empty seat. A seat that might be filled with you today. When all these less than perfect people are all added together, we have a special place full of special people, a group of people who are figuring out how best to serve Jesus, so that our lives leave behind His light in every location, in every conversation. And somewhere in the middle of all this imperfection, together we're becoming something God simply calls church.